Gold and silver coins stolen from French museum hours after Louvre heist. The theft of French crown jewels overshadowed the robbery of some $100,000 worth of historical coins from a museum dedicated to philosopher Denis Diderot. Some 2,000 coins were taken from the Denis Diderot House of Enlightenment in Landres, a town in northeast France. François Nassambini/AFP Getty Images. By Toby Raji and Leo Sands. The Louvre was not the only French museum to be pillaged on Sunday. With the nation already in an uproar over the broad daylight heist of French crown jewels that morning, a robbery unfolded that on any other day or week would have drawn far more notice, of some 2,000 gold and silver coins worth more than $100,000 from a small museum in Landres, a town in France's northeast. Authorities said thieves late Sunday night smashed their way through the Maison de Lumières Denis Diderot, the Denis Diderot House of Enlightenment, a museum dedicated to Diderot, the 18th-century philosopher and editor of the Encyclopédie, a major Enlightenment-era encyclopedia. The culprits broke down the main gate of the Hôtel du Brol de Saint-Germain, which houses the museum, broke through the front door and bashed a display case containing coins, said Pierrick White, a senior local official. Workers noticed the broken display case the following morning and alerted the police, White said. No arrests have been made and the hotel remains closed for an investigation. Investigators told local media outlets that the robbery appeared to be targeted and planned. The museum houses sculptures, paintings and manuscripts, including a number of major items, among them the first editions of the Encyclopédie.ai icon. 18th-century inventions such as the Copernican orrery, which shows the movement of the planets, are also on display. The coins, minted between 1790 and 1840, were discovered in 2011 by a worker conducting renovations on the hotel. The robbery comes at a moment of high interest in museum thefts in France. On Sunday morning, masked thieves used a mechanized furniture elevator to force their way through a window and into the Louvre's Apollo Gallery and took jeweled artifacts from a display case worth more than $100 million, according to an official estimate. On Wednesday, Louvre director Laurence Decars told a committee of French lawmakers that the museum's surveillance system was working inside the building but had a crucial blind spot in its exterior perimeter. AI icon. That was our weakness, she said, speaking publicly for the first time since Sunday's heist. We didn't spot the thieves sufficiently in time. According to Decars, the museum has an external security camera system, but it didn't capture enough of the facade. On the side of the Apollo Gallery, the only camera is facing westward and therefore doesn't cover the. Decars told lawmakers that the Louvre had failed as a custodian of the jewels. She took personal responsibility. She said she had offered to tender her resignation but it was refused. She added that she believed it necessary to establish a police station within the museum. In an interview Wednesday with Le Parisien, French Culture Minister Rekia Dadi said she had refused Decars's offer of resignation. She said the museum's internal security systems had worked as intended. No system failed. Everything happened in the room in less than 4 minutes. However, was everything perfect? No, she said. The weakness is external to the gallery, not internal, at this stage, Dadi added. The urgent need is to secure the area surrounding the Louvre. Experts believe the pieces, which contain thousands of diamonds and other jewels, have most likely been dismantled. Aaron Thompson, an art crime professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, said the thieves would be under pressure to transform the pieces as quickly as possible to avoid detection. Metals, like gold, might be melted, while precious stones might be recut to obscure their origin. On Tuesday, French prosecutors charged a woman who they said was a Chinese national, for the theft of gold nuggets from the Natural History Museum in Paris last month. The woman, whom they have not identified, was arrested in Barcelona and later handed over to France, authorities said. Just hours after thieves struck the Louvre in Paris, another museum in France became the scene of a brazen cultural theft, this time targeting a collection of rare gold and silver coins. The back-to-back heists have left French authorities scrambling to understand whether they are dealing with a coincidence or the coordinated work of a highly organized network specializing in historical artifacts. The second burglary took place at a small regional museum that housed a prized numismatic collection, including medieval and early Renaissance coins rarely shown to the public. Investigators say the thieves seemed to know exactly what they were looking for. Cameras captured little more than silhouettes moving with precision. They bypassed bulkier display pieces and headed straight for the highest value items that can be smuggled and sold quickly on the black market. Within minutes, the robbers were gone, leaving behind smashed glass and a stunned security team. French officials worry this could signal a new wave of artifact trafficking. Gold and silver coins are particularly attractive to criminal networks because they are durable, easy to transport, and can be melted down to erase provenance if necessary. In recent years, demand from private collectors, especially those willing to pay outside regulated auction channels, has driven prices to historic highs. That economic pressure makes museums, particularly those with limited budgets for modern security systems, tempting targets. What makes the timeline even more troubling is its proximity to the Louvre theft just hours earlier. The Louvre is among the most heavily protected museums in the world, yet the criminals were still able to escape with valuable items before security could intervene. The second heist, by contrast, appeared to exploit the attention shift. While police and media swarmed Paris, a quieter institution in the provinces provided easier access and less immediate scrutiny. Experts say such crimes are rarely impulsive. They typically involve insiders with knowledge of security blind spots, along with intermediaries who can launder stolen heritage into private collections abroad. French cultural authorities are already working with Interpol, fearing that the coins may leave Europe before they can be traced. The thefts also highlight the growing challenge facing museums of all sizes, safeguarding cultural history in an age where priceless artifacts have become commodities for shadow markets. While national museums can upgrade protection after a breach, regional institutions often operate on tight funding. That uneven playing field makes them attractive prey for professional thieves who strike when attention is diverted elsewhere. For the French public, the loss is more than financial. These artifacts carry stories of kings, merchants, wars, and early European trade networks. When they disappear into private vaults, so does a fragment of shared heritage.